Hi everyone, welcome to today's interview, and I've got the amazing Ali Ashton here. And probably a minute or two while people get online so they catch all the nuggets live with Ali. And by the title that we are covering how Ali went from, going to Stolzy. And I remember her telling me this, I thought, oh wow, that's painful, especially when you've got kids. Like driving hours, and it's a long journey itself, and it's hard work. So how did Ali go from doing stalls every Saturday to now pretty much doing all of our business online on social media? So we're gonna start. We've got 4 viewers so far. Hi Aisha. Any comments we'll go through towards the end. Network marketers who are online on social media will definitely benefit from this interview. So Ali, tell us a little bit about yourself. We want to know, your family, what's happening, because you've got children, you're doing quite a few things alongside your business.
Okay, from school right up until having my kids, I always was in normal employment job. And when I had my children, I was lucky enough to be able to stay home with them. They're both teenagers now, so they're at high school. So from the beginning of when they were born, I've been at home, but not really sure what I wanted to do as a career. And it was only between 5 and 7 years ago, I decided to get back into my sewing. Did a little bit of sewing for a year, but then started experimenting with leather. So started my leather business. Didn't really start it as a business, I just did it as a hobby. The hobby then started to pay itself, and I started a business, a limited company, and got involved with doing stalls and craft fairs, and never felt particularly comfortable doing it. Knew there must have been a better way to actually get my message out there and share my craft and my business with people. So after you briefly touched on it, catching the train to London to a stall in Spitalfields every Saturday. It was a full-on day, setting off at 5, 6 o'clock, not getting back till 9, 10 at night. Always an enjoyable day in the market. It's great buzz, but it's a hard way to make a living, working all week to hopefully get the sales on the Saturday. Just from footfall coming through the market. So I thought towards the end of a few months of doing that, I thought I've got to get a better way of doing this. And I went exploring avenues of doing it online. Okay,
because you kind of cut off there earlier. So you said you were doing that for 6 months, 5, 6 months?
Yeah, a few months. I did it for a few months every Saturday, going down to London, and with a very big suitcase of bags that I'd made throughout the Monday to Friday. So yeah, it was a hard slog.
Oh, definitely. And that's a lot of commitment to take, time out. Obviously you're working through the week, plus your Saturday as well. Now guys, there's nothing obviously wrong with stalls, that they do work, people love them. But obviously this is for people that want to look into doing it a different way from just hiring out stalls, because I believe it did cost quite a bit as well. Ali, did it cost a lot to get to that market every weekend?
Yeah, it did. It was obviously the train, taxis and train, and obviously the cost of the stall. So yeah, it was a big commitment, definitely, and obviously leaving my young family all day Saturday. So
yeah. So when you were looking for a different option, what was the first thing that you looked into?
The first thing I looked into was actually the first thing I did look into after the stall, or whilst I was stood at the stall, was finding stockists, brick and mortar businesses that would sell my accessories and bags. So I made inquiries around Manchester, London, Birmingham, different boutiques and outlets that could possibly have stuff on sale or return. And I did that, and I still have a couple of stockists that I do that with. And it's the penny started to drop that actually that was an easier option than actually putting my physical self in a stall set up. So I just supplied my goods. It was still obviously working without pay to get the stock ready to send off to the stockist, but it was definitely a better option than my time stood in London.
And obviously you're getting some leverage, you know, through stocking.
Definitely, okay. Yeah. And then the penny started to drop about the leverage and bringing it all online.
Awesome. So that's when you went online after you started to look at other stockists.
Yeah. And then online stores, which was again a step up from the physical store because I could operate it all from my home still and upload stuff into what is now my Etsy shop. So I sell through Etsy.
Oh, is that your website?
Etsy is a website, but you have a shop. Bit like Shopify or Amazon. You have your own little shop within Etsy, but it's all for handmade.
Right, that's handy. That's good.
Yeah.
And is that an affiliate kind of, or is that independent fee?
No, you just pay to list your items, and then you pay them commission for everything sold.
Okay. That's good. That's a good place for you to obviously definitely start.
Yeah.
So when did you come on social media? Because I noticed when we became friends, you did this amazing live stream on showing how you converted a leather jacket into a handbag. So tell us a little bit about your journey on social media.
Yeah, I got a bit more serious about social media when I briefly joined a network marketing business and struggled like hell for 4 to 6 months in that business initially, and started to dig deep where the leaders were getting their experience. Why were those leaders in that particular company having success? And it after a lot of digging and a lot of I've suddenly realised that a lot of them were involved with the marketing system. So I wanted in, and then I joined that said marketing system and started to learn properly how to market online and how to use social media properly, instead of my background not really knowing what I was doing. So I joined that system, and I've learned so much from that.
Right, so that's when your social media journey started.
Yeah, it was.
So tell us a little bit about, you know, what was it like getting on social media? Were you quite experienced already, and you just had to tweak it to your business? So how did you start?
Not at all experienced. Cringy. I'm a reformed spammer. I was a terrible spammer, and really, when I look back at my first Facebook business page, it was, well, I took a lot of stuff off. Once I learned how not to do it, I used to look back at my posts thinking, oh my God, why did I do it like that? That's when I was in the network marketing business, but I've taken what I've learned from that marketing system. I'm now using it in my leather business. How to do it properly.
And that definitely, and that's something that a lot are struggling with, because they don't have that backup like what you've got, the marketing system that helps you, that teaches you how to do it properly. Because, you know, like you said, coming into business, yes, you love your product, you love your leather bag and that business, but how to do it, how to get it out to the people properly, And I remember being spammy 3 years ago. I cringe at my posts when they come up on the memory, and I'm sure.
You want to share this memory? No, I don't. Thank you.
Love that. Who can relate to that? If you're online, drop a one in the comments. If you've ever criticized on Facebook. So when you came on social media, tell us. Obviously, you were learning, you were new, which most people are. We're learning and we're doing it wrong, but there's that shift. So when you were going through that shift, what was the first obstacle that you faced? Just cover a few into changing and going professional. What they're probably going through right now or likely to face.
I think. Just be more specific about your question.
So say when you came on social media, because you said you had no experience.
Yeah.
What was the first things like after the transition from spamming to then going professional through the marketing system that you use? What were the challenges?
Well, when you're set in your ways, thinking that you're doing it right, one particular thing happened recently where somebody had contacted me in my inbox, and the last conversation I'd had with that particular person was me spamming them a link for the network marketing business that I was with. And I had to, before I answered her question in the inbox, I had to apologise for the last message when we last spoke. I think I was sending them some wrinkle cream or something. Buy it now, buy from me. And when you're in that mindset of thinking that you can just send out messages or just putting posts up about joining your business, it's because you don't know any different, do you? That's how the network marketing businesses teach you how to market, because actually they don't know any different either. But now it's so obvious to me how not to do it. So the switch was pretty much like a light switch going off. It wasn't really that difficult. It's black and white.
Yeah. It's about, like you did, like put out content every day and showing people what you're doing, but in a valuable manner that you do already through your leather bag business. So
Yeah.
how was your first 6 months like when you came through the marketing system? What was because obviously you have the links. What did you stop doing and started to do? Just name a couple.
I just took more interest in people, as opposed to wanting people to just notice me through me sending stuff. I was just more interactive and taking more notice of their Facebook posts and commenting and liking, and just being more out for sharing stuff that I was learning within the system. So anything new that I learned that was like light bulb moment, different to how I'd done it before, I was sharing it with people, either in a Facebook Live or in a post, or just answering people's questions that were coming in my inbox, instead of just being interested in them joining my business or buying what I had.
Yeah. So you obviously had to post out a lot then to show people what you were doing. So you must have started off from the marketing. So were you doing videos?
Yeah,
first?
I just embraced Facebook Live straight away. I just, although I did become a bit of a studier in the system, because there is so much that you can get your teeth into. I probably studied 4 to 6 months within the system, not really implementing. But then obviously there was a lot of lives coming through on Facebook. Loads of people were doing lives, and I thought, that's what I need to do. So that's what I started to do with my bags, and sharing different, how to make different accessories and uploading them to YouTube and getting the leverage there and making blog posts out of it. And these were all stuff that I was learning within the system.
Awesome. So it started off with, just to summarize for people that are watching, just to give them some guidance, is that you were started off with putting out content, live videos, and people that engaged, that reached out to you, that showed interest, you were speaking to them. So there was no more convincing me type of thing. It was more like I am marketing myself, my value, my products in a valuable manner where people are seeing, and you're speaking to just prospects that are looking or interested in what you're doing, and you're just building that relationship with them on a more deeper level. You become more aware of their posts, like you said, and basically that was that shift from going from spamming to then professionally marketing
and also
your business online.
It also puts you in it puts you in the mindset of, and you relax more into what you're doing, because you're actually, all you're doing is being yourself, especially if you're embracing Facebook Lives, because you're literally just turning the live feed on, and you're just doing what you do. You're being yourself. You're not actually panicking and scrabbling and being desperate, really. You just sharing what you know, and the people that are interested in you are the people that you're building that relationship with. You're not appealing to everybody. You're just appealing to the people that obviously have tuned in and are interested in what you do.
Definitely. And then, like you said, that makes it enjoyable.
Yeah.
Now you love what you're doing.
Relaxing. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. And how long, you said you've been doing this now online since?
I joined the system that I was part of from 2015 December, so it's just over a year, isn't it? It's 18 months, so yeah.
And I can see you're getting orders all the time now with your posts and your with your leather business.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been, I think it's because I've relaxed into it instead of, obviously you're going to get noticed if you're doing something like a live, Facebook Live, but it's more of a relaxed backseat sort of attitude, because you slowly gather a following of people that are interested in what you're doing and what you put in your content out there, and I think that's key, really, instead of trying to appeal to everyone. I'm repeating myself a little bit, but that seems to be the way it's working for me.
Yeah, awesome. That's really helpful for people that are looking. I know there's a lot of viewers here that are in network marketing or online business, that you can definitely take on board from what Ali's saying, from my experience as being, even in a traditional business, when you come online, if you haven't got the skills, like what you said in terms of the marketing side, it's like any other business, isn't it? You just got to learn. And what advice can you give a new person who joined a business and wants to come on social media? What would your first 3 tips would be for them?
I think the first thing that people need to do is take a really critical look at their Facebook page, Facebook profile, and their business page. You definitely need a business page to run alongside your profile, and just learn how to use the both correctly, so that you aren't a spammer, and you're offering value, and you're being responsive to people that are commenting on your stuff, and just share stuff that's relevant to your audience. But the Facebook, having that Facebook business page and your Facebook profile set up and functioning how it should be, I think is key. Facebook's massive, so get that bit right. That's the starting block.
Yeah, so like you said, get that right across to your audience, that who you are, what do you do. So you're not only building relationships on a personal level, but you're showing them what you do to make sales,
Yeah.
quite openly.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. What else would you say on a self-development side, one thing to do?
I just, for me personally, that's been the key, is just to be a constant student of just improving yourself. And I think that comes out in everything that you do. Just getting that mindset right and just having belief that you can do it. No matter what business you're in, whether you're traditional or network marketing, just have belief and faith that it is all going to be fine. You just got to believe in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you've got a couple of community that you're with, which is the marketing system that you use. Do you think it's important to have a mentor to guide you through? So say if you wanted to look into helping other business set up their profiles, set up their pages properly, just teach them what you've done over the last 2-3+ years online, and because you've got that experience offline as well, you know where they're going to be coming from when they make that transition and
Yeah.
doing it properly online. Do you think they need some guidance, or can they just plug into a system and just do it?
I think I do think it's important to have mentors. You can have mentors all over the world. You don't need to physically meet them. Just people that you aspire to be like. I think that's really important. Just being part of a system's not enough. I think you do need to be part of that community, and you're bouncing ideas off everybody that's in that community, and be in touch with that community on a daily basis is key. It's been great.
Yeah, because we met through that community, and
We did.
it's like association, isn't it? You are the average of the 5 that you hang around with, and if you're going to be around amazing entrepreneurs, you're going to grow.
Yes.
So if you want to say, if you were the last, just on social media, just to recap what you've said, what I would say you advise is that get a mentor, get somebody to guide you through, at least for the first few weeks, so you're set up properly and you don't waste those valuable months where you're just doing the learning. Like I'm sure you've said you do, and I remember doing it as well. I was just 6 months, I was just learning, and I wasn't making any money on social media. To speed it up for you, I think for anyone that's listening out there right now, is get in touch with Ali, see what she's doing with her business, because she can definitely help you if you are going into traditional business, even network marketing. If you know her, if you relate to her, definitely reach out to her, see how she transitioned from spending a whole day on, all day and night, every week, just to, make the same sales as what, or probably more she makes now, I believe, from what you've said, because you're not getting that expense now. It's pretty much for free. You're not paying for taxis, you're not paying for the cabs or the stores or the wet, crazy weathers that we have in England. You're in your home and you're probably making more money doing it properly, though. Because, like you said, you've got to build that audience, but if you're spamming them, you might make the odd sale, but you're not going to make that long-term business in the long run. So definitely reach out to Ali. Thanks, Charlotte. I'm going to just go through any questions now for the last couple of minutes. If you have any for Ali, put them in the comments and I'll go through them now. But like I said, if you want to know and see what Ali's doing, definitely reach out to her. And check her profile out, because she's got amazing leather bags and things that are really, I look at this leather. Tell me a little bit about your leather bag before we go business. How long does it take you to make a bag from a leather jacket or something?
Basically, the more detailed ones are what I say 2 school days. So while the children are at school for 2 days, the bags start and finish. Obviously, easier ones I can do in a day. But if somebody is sending me, the general theme of it is somebody will send me their old vintage jacket that they no longer wear, and possibly an old shirt or something favourite in fabric to line the bag with. And if they parcel that off to me, I will make the bag from start to finish and send it back off to them finished.
Brilliant. I've seen this. I mean, you had, didn't you? What was it? A biker costume. What do you call them?
The biker leathers. I've been doing a lot of. That's another thing that the systems taught me about appealing to your target market. So I've been in the biker Facebook groups and shared a couple of the bags that I made from biker leathers, and I've now got a following in the biker groups of guys that have come off the bikes, ruined the leathers. They send me the leathers and I make them a kit bag or a holdall from their leathers they can no longer wear on the track or the road.
Well, that was really, I couldn't believe it, but that bag looks amazing. And she's just made a handbag, like from a leather biker that was probably worn out, that you've fixed and went round, and it looks like a cool bag. So ladies, if you love your handbags, if you've got any spare leathers, definitely reach out to Ali as well. And the last thing that you want to add, Ali, before we go off?
I just think we don't need to struggle. We don't need to struggle online. There's just so much help out there and so many pros that are there to assist us in whatever journey we're taking, whether it be traditional business like myself or network marketing. You don't need to struggle, and you don't need to be a spammer. And I was a spammer, so I know that you don't need to do it that way. It doesn't work. Nobody comes on Facebook to be sold to. They just want to be educated or entertained and build a business the proper way.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Ali. And like I said, if you want to reach out to Ali, feel free to send her a friend request or message her directly, or leave any questions here or any comments here. Charlotte, thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. And we will catch you next week for the next interview. And thank you for joining. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Ali.
Thanks, Naz. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.